Hi, it's Verna from Drayton Valley Library. I'm here on behalf of myself as well as Darlene from Hannah Library. And we wanted to bring you a little craft for Father's Day. So I'd like to show you first of all which book I am getting these instructions from. You can get this book through the library system if you would like. So hopefully you can see that there. So this book is called Cool Paper Art. Origami Classic Paper Folding. So we actually can see the picture on this cover of what we're going to try to make today, which is this cute little shirt and tie. All right, so you don't need a lot of supplies to do this. Really all you need is some paper, and actually you may need a ruler and maybe some pencil and a scissors just to get your paper into the right shape. Lots of times origami starts with a square shape. But for this project, well, we are going to have a little square, but we also need a rectangle shape. So you actually want two kinds of paper. And for myself, we've got a lot of leftover scrapbooky kind of paper here at the library. So that's what I did. I looked that up and grabbed some of that. But I also did a little practice just on some loose leaf paper. So there's my little shirt and tie that I practiced on. So whatever kind of paper you have that is easily foldable, make sure it's not too thick. It should work for you. So let's take a look now. Here's my scraps that I found that I think I'd like to try this project on. And what you're going to need is a smaller piece. So let's start with that. And this will be for our tie. So for our smaller piece, we're actually going to cut out a square. And the square needs to be 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, or if you're more like a metric person like I am, that would be 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters on each side. So go ahead and take your ruler and you can get that figured out. Okay, so I'm going for the metric version here, marking off a 6 centimeter, go down a little bit more, mark off 6 centimeter, give myself a little bit of a line to guide myself by here. Okay, and then I will just, go this way and get the other 6 centimeter measurement. If you're not doing metric, it was 2.5 inches that we're looking for on this. Okay. All right, so once you've got your measurements made, then you are going to cut out your square. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll get on to the rectangle that we're going to need for the main shirt. So here's my little square. I'm just going to pop it to the side until we need that. And then let's work on the bigger piece for the shirt. So for this, you are going to need a piece that is 6 inches by 8 inches, or if you are metric, 15 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Very handily for myself. I think this is 8 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go, oh, look, I'm not being metric now, but that's okay. I'm going to go over this way and I'm going to do a 6 inch. Yeah, I should have done it on the other side. It's a little hard to see my markings on this side. Oh, well, I've already started, so I'll do my best. Okay, and if I can find those markings, where are they? Oh, I found one. Oh, I found that. Okay, I'm good. How are you doing? That's good. You know, you can pause the video if you need to at all. If I'm going a little too fast, you need to see something again. Oh man, I think that was exactly in half. Could have just folded this thing. Oh well, measuring never hurts. All right, once you got it figured out, you got to cut it out. Hey, maybe I can make 2 shirts. Anyways, I won't do that right now. So I've got my one sheet here, which is the 6 inch by 8 inch. And then I've got the little guy here, 2.5 by 2.5. This is to make your shirt and this is to make your tie. Okay, let's get started on the shirt. We'll do the tie a bit later. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to place face down our nice side. So this is just white. I don't want that to be the one that's showing. The side that you want to show for the shirt, they got to hide it right now. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. We're going to go this long side over to this long side. I've heard kids sometimes call this like a hot dog fold, and the other way is a hamburger fold. So anyways, so fold it like a hot dog if that's what you're used to. Right, we're going to unfold that now. Sometimes I might draw a little line on here just because you know it's hard for you guys to see where my folds are. But you don't have to draw a line. This is just so that you can see. So there's my center. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this edge, we're going to fold it straight into this center. Okay. So that edge goes in the center. And oh, nice crease always when you're doing origami, right? Push down those edges, make a nice fold. This side now going to go to the center. So same as we did on the other side. Fold it in. Okay, there we are. So our next thing that we're going to do is we are going to fold the top inner corners outward, and the point should stick out past the edges of the rectangle. Okay, so that means we're going to take this corner and this corner, I'm going to fold them over. We want the points to stick out. So don't fold it nice like that, or it's not saying you got to go further so that it sticks out. Okay. Now, when you do the other side, try and make it look pretty equal to what you did over here. Okay. So start your point there and then fold it outward. Okay. There we go. So the next thing we're going to do is flip this over. I think what we did is we just made our sleeves. So if we look on the one that I made here, right, we've got those little sticky outy guys. So I think we were just making our sleeves. Okay, so we're going to flip it over. Okay, and now we are going to fold the bottom edge up just a bit. So about 1/2 inch or maybe 1.5 centimeters. Depending what you're used to there. Okay, so that's just a little bit. I'll turn this to the side so that you can see here. So just a little bit up we're folding it. Got that? Okay. So we're going to turn the paper over. So we're flipping it back to this side. And we're actually going to whoosh, turn it that way. Okay. And we are going to fold the top corners to the middle, to the center crease. It means you're going to take the little point and make the point go right into the middle. Okay. Now, when you do this, you're not going to do like a nice straight line with that edge there. Actually going to, and this is where I think I had a hard time the first time I made this. Okay, once I get it, I'll show it to you. Oh, getting a little thick there. Okay, so let me just do this and then I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so let's see, can you see that bit of a fold there? I think we might be working on the collar right now. So see, I got the point into the middle line. All right, so when we do the other side, we want to try and do an equal size of fold. Okay, so I'm kind of noticing how far down here I went. And so I want that to be fairly equal there. Okay, and of course I can just match the point up to the other point there. So I've got that. It gets a little cumbersome here because as you're folding, your paper gets a little bit thicker, but not too bad. Okay. So you see what's kind of happened there, how we've got this. And you should be able to see it should be starting to look a bit like a little shirt collar there. Okay. All right. So our next step then is we are going to fold the bottom upwards. So we're taking this and we're going up. And actually what we're going to do, as I mentioned, this is like the collar. So you'll see these little flaps right there. We're just going to tuck the shirt under the collar. I'll hold it up in a sec so you can see. And when you get there, you're going to do a nice fold at the bottom. All right. So can you see there? So what I did is I took that bottom and I tucked it under the collar. All right. Okay. So the next thing to do, oh, our shirt is done. That's it for our shirt. So next thing to do is to work on our tie. You can place your shirt to the side and find your other little paper, okay, your square one. And so we are going to have to put it face down for the color that we like. So face down so you can't see the nice color, the side that you want to show. Now we're going to fold this in half, but this way it's going to be point to point that we're folding. All right. So point to point, make a nice crease. Then you're going to unfold it. Okay. And remember, just to help you, sometimes I might draw on a little line, but you don't have to do it. Okay. So that is where my crease is, where my fold is, right down the middle. And now we're going to take this top edge and fold it along the middle, and then this top edge and fold it along the middle. So we're kind of getting into the tie shape here. Okay. Making it a bit skinnier than a regular diamond. Got that folded in. We see how we went. It's kind of looking like a kite as well. It's another way to think of it. So we do the same thing with this other side here. Whoops, I had a little bit of a rip. Oh man, do better than me. That'll be okay though. All right, it's hard to do these things perfect. We do our best. All right, so now we have this little kite looking shape, and we're going to flip it over like that. And then we are going to take our top point and we're going to fold it downwards. I'm going to fold it about 1/2 inch or about 1.5 centimeters. It's okay if your measurement's not perfect there. The most important measurement was when you first cut your paper. Okay, so I'll just hold it up so you can see a little bit better. So I just folded it over a little bit that way. All right. So the next thing is we're now going to take that little point and we're going to fold it back up to the top onto that folded part. So it's a little bit accordion-like what we've got going on right now. Oh man, it's so tiny, hey? I feel like my fingers are too big for this. Right, so now I'll show you what I've got happening. You can kind of see there, sort of like little accordion shape. All right. Okay, so next thing is belly, the bottom of the flap. Okay, this should be slightly, so this one's a little bit tricky. That's why I'm just checking here if I'm doing this right. Okay, so basically now we're going to take this little bunch that we've got here and we're going to kind of fold it back up. This is so tiny that I'm going to hold it up for you in a second so you can see. Okay, so can you see what I did there? So we had, let's see, we were on this side, right? So the first thing that we had done, right, we folded it downward. Then we folded that point back up to the top. Okay, and now what we did is we gave it another little fold. I might draw a black line here so that you can see where, yeah, like that. That might help us. Okay, so you see where that is? So taking this whole thing and just giving it a little fold upwards. Okay, and then we're turning it over so that we've got this side like that. And we're just going to narrow out the tie a little bit more. So we're going to take this side and put it into the center again, and the side and put it into the center. Okay, so side to the center. So this isn't a super wide tie. Now you're going to notice it pretty tight up at the top here. So mostly give it a squish down a bit lower. Okay. And we'll talk about the top in just a second. And we're almost done. So the tie is just a tricky part here, I think. Okay. So it says your origami tie is finished. Pull the small triangle out from behind the fold. So now back in there, I've got a teeny little triangle and I want to pull it out because it's going to be my little hook to attach it to the shirt. If you're having trouble with this bit and you have access to some glue or some tape, you could do that too. Okay. So there, now I pulled out that little bit. So that's my little hook that I'm going to be able to put in the shirt. So when I bring my shirt back, there's my shirt. And now I can take this little bit up to the bend and I can tuck it in. Now, when I had to do this before, I had to sort of take apart my shirt a little bit, pull that out. Then I folded that over. And then I tucked, sorry, I'm not sure if you can see very well. My fingers are everywhere. And then I tucked it back in. Okay. And then there you go. You've got a shirt and a tie. Now this tie is sticking out quite a bit, hey? So that's one thing I did notice. You might want to squish it a little bit flatter there. Maybe I like the sticking out part. Or as I mentioned, if you got a little bit of tape and you want to secure it down a little bit better because it's still sticking out a little bit, you could do that. And then a nice place to write a little message if you want to. Give this to your dad or something. You could pop something on the back there. You could even write something on the back of the tie or under the tie. If you want to, you could have it so it opens up and there's some kind of message inside. Totally up to you. Or you can just give it to him and say, hey, here's a little shirt and tie for you. Another fun thing might be to, see if he can make one too. That's a bit of a challenge because I now have to put it back together. There we go. I think I got it. So there is our little origami shirt and tie. I hope that you enjoyed that. You got some good taste in shirt colors like I do. It was just a fun pattern. All right. Thank you for joining me and for joining Hannah Library, and have a happy Father's Day.